As we age, our skin begins to change in very natural ways. It may become drier, thinner, more prone to wrinkles and dark spots, or lose the smooth firmness it once had. But growing older does not mean losing beauty. On the contrary, if we know how to take care of our bodies properly, we can absolutely age in a graceful, gentle, and vibrant way. What is interesting is that the secrets to supporting the skin are sometimes not found in expensive products, but right in our everyday garden and kitchen. A green vegetable, a berry, a colorful root, or a small handful of seeds can also help nourish the skin from within. Of course, no plant or food is a miracle. Healthy skin still needs enough sleep, enough water, sun protection, gentle movement, and a relaxed mind. But when we know how to choose the right foods every day, the skin will have a better foundation to become healthier, softer, and more radiant over time. In this video, we will explore 7 garden plants and foods that may support the skin, while also helping the body age in a more natural, calm, and graceful way. Before we begin, if you enjoy topics about gardens, health, and aging gracefully, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can explore more content like this together. 1. Eggplant. Eggplant is a very familiar plant in many family gardens, with its glossy purple fruits, soft texture, and simple, rustic beauty. Just seeing a few eggplants hanging on the plant or sitting in a basket of vegetables in the kitchen can remind many people of simple dishes such as grilled eggplant, steamed eggplant, stir-fried eggplant, or eggplant cooked in light soups. When talking about the skin and the process of aging gracefully, eggplant may not be the most outstanding name, but from the perspective of garden-grown food, it is still a familiar, easy-to-use choice that fits well into a natural way of eating. The valuable thing about eggplant lies in its softness and how easy it is to prepare. It does not need to be fancy or expensive, but it can still make a meal feel warmer and more comforting. For many older adults, soft and easy-to-eat dishes like steamed or grilled eggplant often feel lighter on the stomach than foods that are too dry, too hard, or too oily. When eaten with green vegetables, warm rice, and a moderate portion of protein, eggplant can help make a meal more balanced and enjoyable. For the skin, eggplant should not be seen as a magical beauty secret. Its value lies in adding more fiber, water, and natural color to the daily diet. The purple skin of eggplant also makes a dish look fresher and more appealing. When the body is nourished with a variety of vegetables, the skin also has better conditions to maintain a healthy glow from within. However, the way eggplant is prepared is very important. Eggplant absorbs oil quite easily, so if it is deep-fried or stir-fried with too much fat, the dish can become heavy on the stomach. Therefore, lighter methods such as steaming, grilling, pan-searing with a small amount of oil, or cooking it in soup may be more suitable. Eggplant reminds us that aging gracefully does not necessarily have to begin with expensive things. Sometimes, it comes from the way we choose familiar foods, cook them more simply, eat in moderation, and care for the body gently every day. 2. Starfruit. Starfruit is a very familiar fruit in many gardens, with a beautiful shape, a naturally sweet and sour taste, and a very refreshing feeling when eaten. Just by cutting a slice of starfruit crosswise, we immediately get a small star shape that looks both rustic and delicate. That simple beauty makes starfruit very fitting for the theme of garden foods that help meals feel lighter, fresher, and closer to nature. In an everyday family meal, a few thin slices of starfruit can make a dish look brighter, more appealing, and give it a very clean, earthy feeling. When it comes to the skin and the process of aging gracefully, starfruit is not the most outstanding beauty fruit. It is not mentioned as often as oranges, grapefruits, tomatoes, or berries. However, starfruit still has its own value when placed in a balanced diet. It contains a lot of water, has a lightly sour taste that can stimulate the appetite, and can make a meal feel less heavy, especially when eaten with vegetables, boiled dishes, or simple protein dishes. For the skin, the important thing is not to eat one type of fruit and expect the skin to change immediately. The skin often reflects an entire lifestyle behind it: eating in moderation, drinking enough water, sleeping enough, moving gently, and reducing foods that are too oily or too salty. In that bigger picture, Starfruit can play the role of a fresh, cooling fruit that brings more balance and a more natural feeling to the meal. Starfruit can be eaten directly, added to salads, used in sour soup, or combined with herbs to create a light and refreshing feeling. A few slices of starfruit in a meal not only make the dish look more beautiful, but also help us feel more clearly the freshness of garden foods. However, starfruit is also a fruit that should be used with caution. People with kidney problems should not eat starfruit without first consulting a doctor, because this fruit may not be suitable for them. For healthy people, starfruit should be used in moderation, as a fruit to change the taste of a meal, rather than something to eat too much of. Starfruit reminds us that graceful beauty does not come from extremes. It comes from knowing how to choose natural foods, use them with understanding, and let each meal become a small part of the journey of caring for the body, the skin, and health from within. 3. Lotus root. Lotus root is a food that fits very well with the image of aging gracefully, because it carries a light and delicate beauty. When cut crosswise, each slice of lotus root reveals its natural round holes, looking both beautiful and giving a sense of purity. In the garden and in the kitchen, lotus root is not a food that stands out in a bright or flashy way, but it has a gentle beauty of its own. For the skin, lotus root is not an instant beauty food, but it can contribute to a healthy diet because it feels light in the stomach, contains plenty of fiber, and is easy to combine with refreshing dishes. When the body is nourished with natural foods that are low in oil and not heavily processed, the skin also has a better foundation to maintain a healthy appearance over time. Lotus root can be cooked in soup, stewed with beans, lightly stir-fried with vegetables, or used in warm soups. When eaten, lotus root has a pleasant light crunch, making the meal more interesting without needing to add too many seasonings. This is the kind of food that does not create a heavy feeling, making it very suitable for meals that need freshness, lightness, and balance. What is beautiful about lotus root is that it does not try to make a strong impression. It is quiet and gentle, yet still has depth. Just like a person aging gracefully, it does not need to be showy. It only needs to keep a sense of peace, refinement, and steady care from within. A warm bowl of lotus root soup, a plate of lightly stir-fried lotus root, or a simple, gentle stew can be a very humble way to care for the body. Lotus root reminds us that beautiful skin does not only come from what we apply on the outside, but also from gentle, natural meals filled with kindness toward ourselves. You see, caring for the skin does not always have to begin with expensive things. If you agree with that, please hit like so I know you also enjoy caring for the body through natural foods. 4. Lotus seeds. Lotus seeds are a beautiful food to talk about when it comes to gentleness, sleep, and the process of aging gracefully. Unlike brightly colored fruits such as tomatoes, pomegranates, or blueberries, lotus seeds have a quieter kind of beauty. They are soft, nutty, light on the stomach, and often connected with dishes that bring a sense of peace, such as lotus seed porridge, lightly sweetened lotus seed dessert soup, lotus seed soup, or vegetable stews. For the skin, lotus seeds are not a food that makes the skin brighter instantly, but they can support the body in an indirect and very important way by making meals feel lighter, more nourishing, and more relaxing. When the body is fed with soft, wholesome, and easy-to-digest foods, the skin also has a better foundation to maintain its natural healthy look. What is valuable about lotus seeds is the peaceful feeling they bring. A warm bowl of lotus seed porridge in the evening, or a small bowl of lightly sweetened lotus seed dessert on a day when the body needs rest, is not just food. It is like a small ritual that helps us slow down, breathe more deeply, and treat ourselves more gently. As we age, the skin does not only need vitamins, minerals, or antioxidants. It also needs a body that sleeps better, feels less stressed, and is nourished consistently every day. Because if the body is always tired, sleep-deprived, and stressed, it is very hard for the face to maintain a fresh and bright appearance. Lotus seeds remind us that graceful beauty does not always come from bright and colorful things. Sometimes, it comes from a very light, very soft, and very familiar food that helps the body rest and helps the mind become more peaceful. 5. Hibiscus flower. Hibiscus is a very beautiful flower to include in the topic of skin and the process of aging gracefully. Just by looking at its bright red or deep pink color, we already get a feeling of life, freshness, and the very natural softness of a garden. In daily life, hibiscus is often used to make tea, creating a drink with a beautiful red color, a lightly sour taste, and a very refreshing feeling. When consumed without sugar or with just a little honey, hibiscus tea can become a better choice than soda, milk tea, or other sugary drinks. For the skin, what is valuable about hibiscus is not its ability to create instant beauty, but the way it helps us build a gentler habit. A cup of hibiscus tea in the afternoon can help the body take in more fluids, help the mind slow down, and help us replace less healthy drinks with a choice that feels closer to nature. The color of hibiscus also reminds us of the natural plant compounds found in red, purple, or deep pink plants. Colorful foods and herbs like these are often very suitable for a varied diet, helping support the body against tiredness and the natural aging process. However, like other herbal teas, hibiscus should be used in moderation. People who are taking medication, have low blood pressure, are pregnant, or have special health conditions should consult a professional before drinking it regularly. Hibiscus reminds us that skincare does not have to be complicated. Sometimes, simply replacing a glass of soda with a beautiful, low-sugar, gentle herbal tea is already a way to start treating the body more gracefully. 6. Malabar spinach. Malabar spinach is a very familiar vegetable in family meals, especially in meals that need to feel light, cooling, and easy to digest. Just a handful of young green Malabar spinach cooked with a little shrimp or crab, or simply made into a vegetable soup, can make the whole meal feel much softer and more refreshing. For the skin, Malabar spinach is not a beauty food that stands out in a bright or luxurious way, but it has a very practical value. It adds more greens, more fiber, more water, and less heaviness to the meal. When the body is fed with foods that are light, easy to digest, and richer in plants, the skin also has better conditions to maintain its natural freshness. What makes Malabar spinach special is its soft and slightly slippery texture when cooked. This softness makes Malabar spinach soup very easy to eat, especially on days when the body feels tired, overheated, or simply does not want foods that are too oily. A cool, green bowl of Malabar spinach soup can make the whole meal feel gentler. As we age, the body often needs simpler foods that put less pressure on the digestive system, and Malabar spinach is a very suitable choice for that spirit. It is not complicated, not expensive, but it helps the meal become more balanced and closer to nature. Malabar spinach reminds us that aging gracefully does not necessarily have to begin with luxurious things. Sometimes, that beauty begins with a very simple bowl of green soup, with the way we eat more slowly, more lightly, and care for the body with the gentlest foods from the garden. 7. Seaweed. Seaweed is a slightly different food compared to the usual plants found in a garden, but it fits very well if we expand that image into a garden of the sea. It has a deep green color, a naturally light salty taste, and a very clean, refreshing feeling when it appears in a meal. For the skin, seaweed is not a food that creates quick beauty results, but it can contribute to a varied diet because it contains many natural minerals. When the body is nourished with different food groups, from green vegetables, roots, infrus, and seeds to foods from the sea, the skin also has a better foundation to maintain a healthy and fresh appearance over time. Seaweed can be used in broth, soup, salad, rice rolls, or served with light dishes. Just a small amount of seaweed is enough to give a dish a special flavor, helping the meal feel less boring without needing too many heavy seasonings. However, seaweed is also a food that should be used in moderation, because it can contain a lot of iodine. People with thyroid problems or those who need to control their iodine intake should consult a doctor before eating it regularly. For healthy people, the best way is to enjoy seaweed as a small side dish and not overuse it. What is beautiful about seaweed is that it brings a very calm feeling. It is not as bright as hibiscus, not as soft and nutty as lotus seeds, and not as rustic as Malabar spinach. Seaweed has the deep, cool, and quiet beauty of the ocean. Seaweed reminds us that aging gracefully means knowing how to expand the way we care for the body, It is not only about eating what is familiar from the home garden, but also about welcoming natural foods from the sea and using them in a moderate, thoughtful, and gentle way. Aging gracefully does not mean trying to hide every trace of time. It means learning to care for the body more gently, eating more mindfully, and appreciating our own natural beauty at every stage of life. These 7 plants and foods: eggplant, starfruit, lotus root, lotus seeds, hibiscus, Malabar spinach, to seaweed, each carry their own unique beauty. Some are rustic, some are refreshing, some help make meals feel lighter, and others bring a sense of relaxation and peace. They are not miracles that make the skin look young again overnight, but they can help build a healthier lifestyle from within. Healthy skin needs more than a skincare product. It needs good sleep, enough water, balanced meals, a calm mind, and consistent daily care. So, start with the very small things in your own garden and kitchen. When the body is nourished with kindness, the skin will gradually reflect that same sense of peace, health, and grace. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy content about gardens, natural foods, and the journey of aging gracefully.